All right, before we get back to the phones, we'll get back to all your calls on the Sixers. We do have ourselves quite the Eagles rumor that is out there in terms of the NFL draft and in terms of what could happen on Thursday night. So we're sitting here right now, pick number 22.
22.
But according to Adam Schefter, ESPN this morning, the Eagles could be looking to move up with a particular position in mind. Here it is. So Schefter this morning talked about Howie's history of trading up in the first round. They did it in 2019 for Diller. They did it in 2021 for Devontae Smith, 2022 for Jordan Davis. I actually forgot until this morning they traded up a spot to get Jalen Carter last year. Like, Howie very rarely sits at the spot they are.
Yeah, he likes to move around.
Okay, well, how about this one? So if Roseman wants a corner at number 22, this is according to Schefter. I'm reading Schefter's article this morning. If Roseman wants a corner at number 22, as many people around the league believe he could, he might have to move up again. Per sources, he has already been calling around, gauging what a trade-up might look like to be prepared for what has become a near annual tradition. So, Hugh, it sounds like a trade-up for a corner could be the path.
We're going to get a young Thundercat that's going to play. I'm okay with that. You know how I feel about these youngins, man. Let them youngins play.
So, I got two names. The two names I feel like if he's going up for a young Thundercat corner, doesn't it feel like it's Terrion Arnold or Quinyon Mitchell? Like, those are the two, one of the two.
Quinyon feel like he's going to, yeah.
Now, I like Cooper DeJean a lot. I'm not sure if it's a trade-up. Now, maybe it's a small trade-up, right? Like, they're afraid they lose him if Quinyon Mitchell's gone and Arnold's gone, and they move from, like, 22 to 19 to make sure they get Cooper DeJean as the third quarter. I could see that. But if they're going up, let's say they're going up, like, 8 or 10 spots, feels like Quinyon Mitchell out of Toledo or Terrion Arnold, that's the guys they're going for. One of those two guys. You good with this?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with getting a young corner.
Would you trade one of the 2 second-round picks? They have number 50. They have 53. Would you give away one of those to get up for the guy, the corner?
To get a corner?
To get the one, the one you want.
So we're not getting one of the top 3 players. We're not getting 3 good players with 53.
Right, you're taking you're
taking one
of your 2 second-round picks and giving it away to move up in the first round. You good with that?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay.
I'm good with that because you're going to get a bona fide player that's going to play right away.
So Howard has been on this every time we've talked to him for the past couple of weeks, that they have 9 draft picks. And on a team like this, basically the whole offense is set, right?
He's not going to get a whole lot of people that are going to play.
Yeah, the idea that 9 of these guys – now, we could account for some misses and some hits and whatever, but like 9 rookies walking into camp along with undrafted guys, there's not many roster spots to go around, especially on offense. So – in theory, I'm okay with this, but it does put pressure on Howie if he does it. Like, you got to land the right guy. 2 years ago, he moved up and gave away 3 picks for Jordan Davis, and so far, no, it hasn't worked. Right? He gave away picks for Andre Dillard, didn't work. Now, he gave away a pick to go get Jalen Carter. That looks like it's going to be a good one down the line. If they could get Arnold or if they could get Quinyon Mitchell, I like it. Like those guys, from everything we've seen, everything we've read, they look like they are starting corners in the NFL. Bona fide. You know what it might mean? We could maybe cut Bradbury after the draft.
Yeah, something's going to happen. You get one of those corners, somebody's not keeping their job.
Of course.
And I would think that it would be Bradbury. And I've been on this for since the season ended. I want them both. I want 2 new corners, to be totally honest. But if we get one, that's an upgrade, and we'll figure out the other position as we get through the season.
Yeah, I would think unless there's a reason for them to be behind, if they move up for a player like Mitchell or Arnold, I would think they have a chance to play right away, Hugh. It wouldn't shock me if we're at training camp and it's obvious from day one of those 2 kids is better than Bradbury right now. I just put him on the field and let's figure it out. So that is the buzz out there, according to Schefter. The Eagles are already making trade calls, gauging what it would take to trade up for a corner in the draft Thursday night. All right, 215-592-9494. Terrence in Springfield. What's up, Terrence?
Hey, Joe, Kyle, what's up, man?
How we doing, buddy?
Man? Got a quick thing on the Phillies. Well, I want to touch on the Sixers. I was watching the game the other day. First thing when B went down, first thing I'm thinking is, here we go again. Here's the deja vu. But then I'm thinking again, this guy is out there trying to dunk the ball. If you know your leg is not healed correctly, keep your game like you were playing, like how a Joker style. He was playing like I feel like he was playing like Joker. He wasn't really lifting off the ground. He was staying with a jump shot, with fundamentals. But I feel like he gave it his all. He had 28. Max, he had 33. Tobias Harris, Kelly Oubre, Batum. These guys have to help. That's what everybody was saying this year. We got a better bench. Why do you have to show me that? So far, Tobias Harris can't even score 10 points. Are you kidding me? This guy and his father talking all this trash, and you can't even score 10 points. I feel like when the moment gets big, Tobias Harris shrinks.
Get small.
And it's starting to be annoying at this point, and he has to go. I don't know how they played out his contract this long, because he's not a person. I was watching the other game the other day, the Lakers, D'Angelo Russell. He shrinks. There's players in the playoffs that they just shrink in the playoffs.
Oh, you're right,
They're
Terrence. There are.
players.
The NBA is. I think maybe more than any other sport, it happens where you look at a guy and look at his numbers. Like, yeah, he averages 18 or 20, but you put it in the playoffs and it's just they shrink.
Yeah, you ball the whole regular season, but then when a moment gets big, you shrink. You're gonna see different defenses. You're gonna see tougher defenses, and I feel like Embiid is going to start to. There's too much pressure on him. If he starts to keep giving his all, he doesn't have any help. He's going to start to crumble, and we all know how Embiid is when he wants the attention. Like, I saw him on the ground, he's like laying on the ground for a long time. We know how he is. He wants the attention when he gets hurt. So, like, these guys have to pick him up, and that's where Kyle Lowry comes in. And if he can keep bringing the toughness, because New York is tough. And if they win Game 2, we're in trouble because this team New York is a grinded-out team, and we can't take that for granted. A quick thing on the Phillies.
Mm-hmm.
I was hearing about we wanted to get Mike Trout, but I feel like right now, man, we're a game behind Atlanta. We're like one of the best teams record-wise in baseball right now. And I feel like I'm seeing a hunger from this team. We have the best pitching right now. So I feel like if our bats come alive, I feel like if it don't fix it. We might not even need Mike Trout.
Well,
I feel like we might need one more bat.
They do. Well, look, I think they're going to need a bat, Terrence. Terrence, a great phone call as always. Now, can they get Trout? Will he actually ask out? I'm wearing the sweatshirt right now. Ask out Trout? I don't know. But I think they're going to need another bat. The Rojas thing is great. If he could hold his own offensively with that defense, it actually could come back to Castellanos. That is more of the issue long-term, than the Rojas thing. 215-592-9494. Let's go to Pat, who's up next. What's up, Pat?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Good,
hey, what's
Pat.
up,
What's up?
Yeah, I just want to talk about, the Sixers and Embiid. And, I think he's just really being unfairly, he's being slandered right now, I mean, there's an old term, say still waters run deep. Just because he doesn't show the fire doesn't mean it's in him. He's competitive. He is a dog. I think somebody didn't say he was a dog 7 calls ago. It wasn't Ron or whatever his name is, who's too busy watching ESPN Classic saying, it's a new NBA. We don't play back to the center basketball anymore.
Well, it isn't, right? You're right. But at the same time, we could ask, it's a little bit – in the fourth quarter, he's standing outside the three-point lane. I mean, because he's either out of gas or his knee's bothering him and he has no lift. That's not going to work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I get that. Again, it's just the new NBA. It seems like they love that pick and roll with him up top with Maxey. It works in the regular season. Let's just hope, he can figure it out. Another thing, I think, somebody said he isn't he's not grabbing rebounds. To be fair, he's never really been a great rebounder through his, 8 years. I think somebody who's supposed to help there is Tobias Harris making $40 million. If you're not going to score, at least help us rebound. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, well, I agree with that, Pat. But I think we need more than 8 out of Embiid, right? I'm not asking for 20. I'm not saying he's, could be Will Chamberlain out there with 25 rebounds, but 8 rebounds in 37 minutes. You know what it felt to me, Pat? It felt like because he couldn't jump, they were jumping over him. Josh Hart shouldn't be getting rebounds over Joel. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to be in a better body position.
Yeah.
And maybe he isn't jumping off it, but, I don't know. I don't think that him jumping is the, factor in him grabbing rebounds. He's got to get better body position, which he's really never been good at because, again, he's 7'2". It's the NBA. You think he'd get at least 15 rebounds a year. Drummond was a much, much, much better rebounder than him. And, for all those years. And, he's just he's never been a rebounder, is what it is. He's an all-time scorer. The guy's an unbelievable scorer. Let's calm down. I think the national media is also giving too much credit to Mitchell Robinson and Isaiah Hartenstein. I don't get that. They're okay. They're not great. But, yeah, I mean, he'll be fine. He'll be fine. They won the first battle. They didn't win the war.
They did not. No, and Pat, that's why tonight is everything, man. Pat, we appreciate the phone call. If the Sixers win tonight, it's amazing how, and we do this in NBA series, right? The tone shifts all the way. If they win tonight, coming back home for 3 and 4 here, We will be so excited they're going to win this
Yeah,
series.
because they're back home,
Yeah.
and that's why they call it a series, and that's why they play a series. It's like the first game is always an overreaction, and plus playing in the Garden, playing with that crowd was juiced up. They were excited because they haven't had real meaningful basketball there in a while. So that played into it, and you could see that the guys that were there, they were feeding off that emotion, and they were hot. I'd like to see them try to do it again.
Well,
Like,
especially
because-
Josh Hart. I mean,
yeah, he was on fire.
And
I'd like to
he's-
see him try to do it again.
he's not a great shooter at all, but the fact that he nailed those.
Oh no, he was on one the other night. Fist pumping and the crowd going crazy.
You
and then
could
they,
tell their game plan was to let him shoot.
yeah, and the crowd just like you see all the star-studded crowd with all the Knicks fans who ain't never been to a game ever until they went to the playoffs. So yeah, it was kind of interesting.
Well, it was a good crowd. I expect of all the. I was watching all the series this weekend. It was by far, and this series will have it by far the best crowds in both places. I mean,
No question.
I mean, some of these games were kind of blah over the weekend. I think we had
The one with Ant-Man and
Durant.
they were going at it a little bit.
Yeah, I think last night was a close game with the Thunder and the Pelicans, but most of the games weren't that good. Our game was one of the more entertaining, just back and forth kind of close fourth quarter games.